Since 2003, the Vodafone World of Difference program has been helping passionate people make a difference in their community, with the program paying their salary and expenses and assisting them professionally and personally for 12 months. The recipients are able to follow the thread of a youth-focused project of their choice. So far, the project has supported 51 passionate individuals who in turn have touched countless others in New Zealand and around the world. In 2011, 6 Kiwis have been given the chance to change the fabric of their community. This is our way of making a world of difference.
So today we're here in Hamilton at Wintech and we're running one of our 2-day workshops. This is workshop number 9. We've got a bunch of local filmmakers ranging from 13-year-olds up to 24-year-olds. Passionate about filmmaking, they want to make a difference. We connect them together, connect them with some local mentors, give them a bunch of skills around storytelling and filmmaking, help them lift their game and then support them to kickstart a short film project. 2 to 4 minute film about a young changemaker in their community. The back ring here is your zoom and the front is your focus, so yeah, it looks pretty sharp, eh?
Should I be zoomed right out?
Up to you, you can if you want to. Storytelling is the most powerful form of communication that we have as people. Our brains are hardwired for storytelling. So there's loads of creative ways to tell stories, and for me, film is a really powerful medium to do that. So as part of the workshops, we look at what makes a good story, we watch a bunch of short films, learn some skills to help them make better films, and as well, look at some big issues and how young people can make a difference. Cool, so you can direct us to 2, 1. Awesome, thanks, Jeff. Cool. Okay, if you guys want to... I don't like the idea of having a day job. I think that all of us should have the opportunity to be able to earn a living doing what we love, and for me this is it. Whether it's making films or photography or drawing. Self-expression is such a powerful thing and there's so many fun ways to do it, and that plus the ability to pass on that knowledge to other people and support them to do what they love is great.
My name's Nikki Skirman and I am the project leader of an extended World Child Service of teenage parents here in Hawke's Bay. We have the 3rd highest rate of teenage pregnancy in the world, and having our teenage mothers supported is huge. There's been nothing special for them ever since I've been nursing. You know, they've had the same service as everyone else and they're different. Teenagers are different, as we know. Part of the program is trying to break the cycle of teenage pregnancy. There's a lot of research that says that teenage mums, children go on to be teenage mums. This is not ideal in a lot of situations. For some mums it's the best thing that ever happened, but for other mums it's not. Part of breaking that cycle is showing them that there are other opportunities in life rather than having children. And having children is a wonderful thing, but just choose the time that you're going to have it. So that we do a bit of education around that, and they can choose when they're going to have a child with contraception. So that's part of the nurse's role as well.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Good. How was your day? She wanted to talk to you. Well, that's brilliant. That's that relationship you've built up, really, isn't it?
I think it's that part of caring about people that I enjoy. I really love looking after people and children. I was always going to be a nurse and I was never going to be anything else, and it was never even a consideration. So at 16 I left school and went off and did my nursing training and was a registered nurse by the time I was 19, so it's been a very big part of my life too.
The Ngāti Hine Youth Leadership Project is about getting Ngāti Hine youth involved in issues that Ngāti Hine face, helping them to develop skills around strategic planning, business planning, and also work on succession plans for the future, because Ngāti Hine we've got a lot of important things that are coming up with fishery settlements, Treaty of Waitangi claims, and we need to be bringing our youth forward so that in the future they can take on the leadership responsibilities. So that's Motatau Maunga over there. It's one of the significant maungas of Ngāti Hine. Growing up in an area where gangs and drugs and alcohol is, common day thing, I had to, battle my own issues with drugs and alcohol. And I didn't really think that I'd actually make it to 18. And then when 18 came around, I thought, oh well, I better do something. And so yeah, The challenges that I had was to actually get motivated to get back into education, and other young people who are in the same position as me can see that although they're in a place at the moment where they might be in trouble or think they've got nowhere to go, I can say, hey, I was there when I was your age, and I know you can do great in the future.
So high school for me was a really threatening place. I was very afraid, I was scared, I was anxious. I spent a lot of time depressed, and I spent a lot of time not at school. I'm naturally a really bright person, but at school I wasn't performing because I was just feeling really anxious all the time. So I'd leave school, and in my lunch breaks I'd just make sure that I wasn't there. I'd go to a forest or something and just sit on my own and feel lonely. I don't want young people at our schools around New Zealand to experience what I experienced when I was growing up. So that's what's giving me the energy, the motivation and the drive to use this World of Difference money to make a world of difference for queer youth throughout New Zealand, starting in Nelson. I see myself as a community development worker. I'm really passionate about developing community, and the queer youth community is all about to make schools safer places for queer students. Homophobic bullying in schools in our community often goes under the radar, and it's something that a lot of people just don't want to think about or do anything about. So being a Queer Straight Alliance and empowering our young people to say this is not okay is what makes us unique.
My World of Difference year 2011 is to create a street-based program that is for youth, by youth, that works within the youth environment, being the streets, parks, wherever they're hanging out, having that relationship built with them so that if a need arises, young people feel okay enough to work with this team to get through. The whole youth transition service goes, it's there to help you, not us. It is about the peer support workers engaging with young people initially rather than the young people engaging initially. Casual, not just like military man and going for it and everything like that. It's just, what you see is what you get, really. And he might have his like this, his set of guns, he's got a license. So no, it's all good. All right, so say the major personal barrier for me would have been overcoming testicular cancer in 2009. Straight out of school, sort of being diagnosed and heading into hospital. I was never in hospital by myself, unless I wanted to be, especially like while I was getting actual chemotherapy. And just that support network of my family sort of highlighted for me that, support networks are great. So naturally that comes in line with this work, is creating support networks for young people.
Our vision for the year is to turn around the lives of at-risk young people. So showing them that the life that they've been exposed to and live in at the moment, they don't have to live that way. They can turn their life around and learn how to be positive contributors to the society. Because a lot of the times they're not interested in anything, they're not motivated in anything. So those opportunities just flash past them every day, and now they're starting to become more awake, more alert, and seeing all the different things that are more positive in the world that they can actually get their hands on and really do and be successful with. We start off by having lots of different camps, getting them out into areas which they're outside their comfort zone, and learning how to deal with their emotions, which usually are anger and fear, and how to control them in a positive way and in ways that they don't have to feel bad about in the end and feel guilty for. And then stand square to me, and now try and pull or push me over so I can go like this. So I was living in Argentina and I met a guy who convinced me to start a restaurant and gave him a lot of money, and he took the money and ran away. And so then I was left in Argentina, unable to speak the language very well, no job, no money, too much pride to ask Mum for help. The way I dealt with that was taking myself out to the Andes and went for a massive hike and came across a guy that was taking people abseiling, and I knew enough Spanish to say my name, I'm from New Zealand and I need a job. And he eventually gave me a job. So the massive setback actually turned around to being something in my favour, which I don't think if I didn't have that experience, I probably wouldn't be here today.
The whole thing, bro, you almost there.
The biggest thing about the project is it's just really affirmed how important this is to, I guess, increase the proportion of young New Zealanders who are active citizens.
If I was going to pass on one thing to the people of New Zealand, I would say that there are people out there, teenage mums in my case, that are vulnerable and need our help.
Personally, growing up and not having a role model, but then when I got older, having older people to mentor me, it kind of made a big difference on my life.
I know that the work I'm doing is important work. I know it's good work, and that's what lights me up. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Everyone was so helping and caring towards myself and my family that it feels natural for me to give that back.
You do see a huge change in these boys, and it can be just with little things, and then they stack on top of each other and they're just like, whoa, look what I did, I'm amazing. So next time any other challenge comes across in their life, so they can say, I can do this, I can achieve it, I can win.